Hello and welcome back to Evo India. Welcome back to our EICMA coverage, and it's truly exciting times for all adventure motorcycling fans in India because BMW Motorrad has finally taken the wraps off of the production ready F450 GS, and promising is exactly what it is. Let's quickly get into it. Now, the styling of the motorcycle thankfully is very similar to that of the concept that they showcased last year, but it feels a little more finished. It feels a little more ready to hit the streets. If you look at the front, now the headlight setup, it was initially just a cross DRL on the concept. Now if you look at it, there's proper lighting elements inside apart from the DRLs as well. There's a nice stacked LED setup with those cross DRLs, very similar to that of the R1300 GS. In fact, the overall styling of the motorcycle is very similar to that of the R1300 GS. In fact, if I were to describe the motorcycle the best way I could, is it looks like a nice healthy cross between the F900 GS and the R1300 GS in terms of the proportions. It's a very small motorcycle, and that is highlighted very well by the fact that it weighs only 178 kilos fully fueled. It's properly tiptoeing the minimum weight required for an A2 class motorcycle, which is exactly what this is. Even if you look at the engine, now the engine, very interesting. It's a new 420cc liquid cooled parallel twin motor developed in conjunction with TVS. Power outputs, it stands at 46.9 bhp at 8750 rpm and 43 Nm of torque at 6750 rpm. Now, one very interesting piece of kit on this engine, apart from it being all new and all of that, is the fact that it gets a 135-degree crank offset, unlike a 270-degree or 180-degree crank that you usually see with parallel twin engines. Now, this is new. I've not really heard of any other motorcycle getting such a crank offset, but what BMW tells us is that this has been done to give you very smooth, very refined power delivery with some unique characteristics as well. Something I can't wait to find out when I eventually ride this motorcycle, hopefully soon next year. Now, apart from that, now there are also multiple variants like there are with all BMW GS motorcycles, especially the higher end ones. There's the base variant, there's the exclusive variant, there's the sport variant, and the trophy variant. Trophy being the top spec, fully kitted variant, of course. Now, the trophy variant, that also benefits from something called the easy ride clutch. So essentially how the system works is when you're at idling speed, it will simulate you pulling the clutch in, and when you start to get on the gas, it will gently release the clutch. All of this is obviously not happening with the lever, it's happening internally, and what BMW claims is that you don't need to use the clutch lever at all. You can just simulate a very regular riding experience with just this system and the quick shifter. How true that is something that we have to verify once we ride the motorcycle, but it's interesting tech nonetheless. BMW also says that the clutch lever is still going to be there, and you can still operate it just as you would any regular clutch, especially if you want to pop your front wheel up to cross any obstacle, or especially for slippery descent and downhill when you're riding off-road. Now, in terms of off-roading, this is not going to be an outright adventure or outright trail machine, because this still does get a 19-inch front wheel and a 17-inch rear wheel, but you do get tubeless crosspoke wheels, of course. With the trophy edition, the other variants do get the alloy wheels. Now, other things you need to know, you get a quick shifter that is standard from the exclusive variant onwards. You get 43mm KYB forks up front. Now, this is going to be adjustable for compression and rebound in the sport and the trophy variant. The easy clutch system I was telling you about, that can be optioned as an extra on the other variants as well, but it is standard on the trophy variant. The rear suspension is also a KYB monoshock unit that is adjustable for rebound and preload. The front is adjustable for compression and rebound when you do get it with the higher variants. You have a tubular steel frame, you have a hollow aluminum swing arm, a short 1465mm wheelbase. Most ADVs in this segment usually have a 1500mm plus wheelbase, so that does make it a little cumbersome to ride. Not cumbersome, but not particularly agile, but BMW have focused and tried to make this bike as agile as possible, and that comes partly because of the shorter wheelbase. Now, apart from that, in terms of braking equipment, your front brake caliper is a Brembo unit, not a Bybre unit, with a 300mm 10 disc. At the rear, you get a single piston Bybre caliper with a 240mm disc. Like I said, the front is a Brembo, which is a 4-piston caliper. Now, you also have lean sensitive electronics, of course, that will vary basis which variant you get, and the Rally Pro option, which gets unlocked with either the trophy, or if you buy it separately, will also unlock your ability to disengage ABS at the rear and all of that good stuff. The seat height is at 845 mm. If you so choose to make it taller, you can do so up to 865 mm with your accessory seat options, or you can bring it lower to 830 mm with your accessory seat options as well. You also have a 14-liter fuel tank, and that they're claiming should be good for between 350 to 400 kilometers of range, if I'm not mistaken. Now, there's a lot more to get into, but these are the details I feel like you need to know about right away about the BMW F450 GS. Now, I don't know how the variants are going to come to India. BMW usually gets the mid to higher level variants to India, especially with their bigger bikes. What they do with this remains to be seen, but what will be interesting to see is the pricing, because this, after all, is being manufactured with TVS, so localization is at its highest with this motorcycle. Prices should be competitive, but you still expect it to be a little pricier than the competition. I'm assuming anywhere between 4 to 6 lakhs is a range. What it is, I hope it is the lower end of that spectrum, but do expect that may be a little more expensive. In any case, what do you think about the F450 GS? I, for one, am very, very excited to ride this motorcycle. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section down below, and thank you for watching.